Stop right there before you click away. Before you scroll past, I need you to understand something that WWE tried to bury and hoped you'd forget. January 18, 2016 was the night that WWE had lightning in a bottle, absolute pure magic, a moment that could have changed the entire trajectory of multiple careers, and they threw it in the garbage like it meant nothing. The Wyatt family attacking Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns should have been the beginning of the most dominant faction run in modern WWE history, but instead, WWE did what they always do: they fumbled it, they abandoned it, and they left us with nothing but what could have been. And if you're sitting there thinking I'm overreacting, thinking this was just another segment, then you clearly don't understand what we lost that night. This video is going to make you angry because I'm going to show you exactly how WWE wasted the Wyatt family's biggest moment, how they ruined what could have been Bray Wyatt's defining storyline, and why this segment from Raw is proof that WWE has never truly understood what they had with the Wyatt family. Stay with me because by the end of this, you're either going to be furiously defending WWE in the comments or admitting that they destroyed something special. Let's set the scene because context matters here. January 18, 2016, Monday Night Raw. We're in the middle of the road to the Royal Rumble, and WWE is building toward what should be one of the biggest matches of the year. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are two of the most dominant forces in WWE, positioned as unstoppable monsters who destroy everyone in their path. These are guys who don't lose clean. These are guys who are protected at all costs. These are the kind of performers that WWE builds their entire company around. And on this night, they're in the ring together, the tension is building, the crowd is electric, and then it happens. The lights go out. That eerie Wyatt family music hits. And when the lights come back on, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman are surrounding the ring. Now let me tell you why this moment was so perfect, why it gave everyone chills, why it felt like something genuinely special was about to happen. The Wyatt family at this point had been booked inconsistently for years. They'd win some big matches, then lose momentum. They'd look dominant one week, then get beaten the next. Bray Wyatt would cut these incredible promos about being a god, about ending worlds, about being unstoppable, and then he'd lose at the pay-per-view and all that mystique would evaporate. But on this night, with Braun Strowman now part of the group, with all four members looking like absolute monsters, it felt different. It felt like WWE was finally going to pull the trigger and let the Wyatt family be what they were always supposed to be: an unstoppable force of destruction that nobody could overcome. The attack itself was brutal and it was beautiful. For massive men surrounding an overwhelming two of WWE's most protected stars. Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate, the guy who conquered the streak, getting destroyed by the numbers game. Roman Reigns, the chosen one, the guy WWE was desperate to make the face of the company, getting annihilated. The imagery was perfect. The storytelling was perfect. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan hitting their signature moves. Braun Strowman, this absolute monster who nobody had really seen in action yet, destroying everything in sight. And Bray Wyatt standing in the middle of it all, orchestrating the chaos, looking like the evil cult leader he was always meant to be. This was the Wyatt family at their peak. This was them finally living up to all the hype, all the promos, all the promises. And here's what made it even better. The crowd reaction was insane. People were shocked. People were excited. People were talking about it immediately on social media. This felt like a game-changing moment. This felt like the kind of segment that would be talked about for years. This felt like the beginning of something massive. The Wyatt family just took out Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Who could stop them? How do you even fight back against this group? What does this mean for the Royal Rumble? What does this mean for WrestleMania season? The questions were endless and the possibilities were infinite. This should have been the launching pad for the Wyatt family to dominate WWE for the next year. But here's where it all goes wrong, and this is where I need you to really pay attention because this is where WWE showed their true colors. What happened after this segment? What was the follow-up? What was the payoff for this incredible moment? Absolutely nothing meaningful. The Wyatt family didn't go on to dominate. They didn't become the most feared faction in WWE. They didn't get a sustained push that established them as the top heels in the company. Instead, WWE did what they always do with the Wyatt family. They had them look strong for a week or two, then they started losing. They started getting beaten in meaningless matches on Raw and SmackDown. The mystique evaporated. The fear factor disappeared. And within a few months, people stopped caring because WWE stopped giving them reasons to care. Let me break down exactly what WWE should have done after this segment. The Wyatt family should have run through the entire roster. They should have been booked like the NWO in their prime, like the Shield when they first debuted, like an actual unstoppable force. Nobody should have been able to beat them clean. They should have been interfering in matches, costing people championships, making everyone's life miserable. Bray Wyatt should have been in the main event picture consistently, with his family backing him up and making it impossible for anyone to beat him fairly. Braun Strowman should have been positioned immediately as the most dominant monster in WWE, destroying legends and up-and-comers alike. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan should have been tag team champions, running roughshod over the entire division. This group had everything: size, skill, characters, entrance music, mystique. They had it all, and WWE refused to pull the trigger. Instead, what did we get? We got Bray Wyatt losing clean constantly. We got the Wyatt family splitting up and reforming multiple times with no clear direction. We got Braun Strowman eventually getting a singles push but not until after the family dissolved. We got Luke Harper being one of the most underrated wrestlers on the roster but never getting a sustained main event run. We got Eric Rowan being treated like comedy relief. We got talent wasted, potential squandered, and fans disappointed. And it all started with WWE not following through on the promise of this segment from January 18, 2016. You want to know what really makes me angry about this? Bray Wyatt deserved better. This man was one of the most creative minds in wrestling. His promos were on another level. His character work was incredible. He understood psychology better than almost anyone. He could have been the next Undertaker, the next generational character that transcends wrestling and becomes a cultural icon. But WWE never fully committed to him. They never let him be the monster he was supposed to be. They had him cut these amazing promos where he'd promise destruction and chaos, and then he'd lose the match and look like all talk. How many times did Bray Wyatt lose at WrestleMania? How many times did he lose feuds that he should have won? How many times did WWE make him look stupid after building him up as this unstoppable force? This segment with Lesnar and Reigns was the perfect opportunity to course correct all of that. This was WWE saying, okay, we've messed up with the Wyatt family before, but now we're serious. Now we're going to book them like the threat they should be. And for one glorious moment, it worked. Everyone believed. Everyone was invested. Everyone wanted to see where this was going. And then WWE pulled the rug out and went back to their old habits of inconsistent booking and wasting the Wyatt family's potential. Let's talk about the long-term effects of this failure. When you don't follow through on moments like this, you train your audience not to get invested. You train them to expect disappointment. You train them to think that cool moments don't actually mean anything because WWE won't follow through anyway. This is why so many fans became cynical about WWE's booking. This is why people stopped believing when WWE tried to push the Wyatt family again later. This is why when Bray Wyatt eventually won the WWE Championship, it felt hollow because everyone knew WWE would probably screw it up, and they did. The lack of follow-through on this segment contributed to years of frustration with how the Wyatt family was handled. And think about what we missed out on. Imagine if the Wyatt family had been booked properly after this. Imagine Bray Wyatt as WWE Champion with his family causing chaos throughout the company. Imagine Braun Strowman as this unstoppable monster who actually got to be unstoppable instead of losing to Roman Reigns repeatedly. Imagine Luke Harper getting the main event push his talent deserved. Imagine the matches we could have seen, the storylines we could have experienced, the moments we could have witnessed. All of that was possible. All of that was right there for WWE to grab. And they let it slip away because they didn't have the patience or the vision to see it through. This segment also exposed one of WWE's biggest problems: they book for the moment instead of booking for the story. They wanted this one cool segment where the Wyatt family destroys Brock and Roman. They got their viral moment. They got their social media buzz. They got their headlines. Mission accomplished, right? Wrong. Because wrestling isn't about individual moments in isolation. Wrestling is about storytelling over time. It's about building to something, paying it off, and then building to the next thing. This segment should have been the beginning of a 6-month to year-long story arc where the Wyatt family terrorizes WWE until finally someone figures out how to overcome them. Instead, it was just a cool moment that led nowhere, and that's unforgivable. The Royal Rumble that year was 2 weeks after this segment. The Wyatt family should have dominated that match. They should have worked together to eliminate everyone. They should have been the final four in the ring battling for supremacy. Bray Wyatt should have won the whole thing, or at minimum, Braun Strowman should have been positioned as an unstoppable force in that match. That would have been the perfect follow-up to this segment. But that's not what happened, and the momentum died almost immediately. You know what the worst part is? Bray Wyatt is no longer with us. He passed away tragically in 2023, and now we'll never get to see what could have been if WWE had just booked him properly. We'll never get to see him reach his full potential as the generational character he deserved to be. We'll never get to see the Wyatt family finally get the sustained push they always deserved. This segment from January 18, 2016 is now a time capsule of wasted potential, a reminder of everything that could have been but never was. So when you watch this segment, when you see the Wyatt family standing tall over Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, remember that this should have been the beginning of something legendary. Remember that WWE had all the pieces in place to create something special. Remember that they chose not to follow through. And remember that Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family deserved so much better than what they got. This wasn't just another segment. This was a missed opportunity of epic proportions, and WWE has nobody to blame but themselves. Now I need to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Do you remember watching this segment live? Did you think the Wyatt family was finally going to get the push they deserved? Are you still angry about how WWE wasted Bray Wyatt's potential? Tell me your favorite Wyatt family moment. Tell me how you would have booked them after this segment. Let's keep Bray Wyatt's memory alive by talking about the incredible talent he was and the legacy he should have had. Smash that like button if you agree that WWE dropped the ball with the Wyatt family. Hit subscribe for more honest wrestling content that doesn't sugarcoat the truth. Share this video with every wrestling fan who remembers this moment and wishes things had gone differently. Let's make sure people never forget what the Wyatt family could have been. I'll see you in the next one.